Hey guys, this is Adam for It's Tea Time 210. I believe this is week 28. This is one of my multiple attempts at making this video because my phone keeps ringing or I keep getting distracted. But anyways, this topic this week is about name and pronouns. And I guess I will start with the name change. I legally changed my name when I was 24, I think. Yeah, I think I was 24. To Adam Jesse James Lester. And Jesse was the nickname that I had gone by for years because it's very close to the name that I was given when I was born. I went by Jess with one S, Jester, Jesse, any rendition of that. And so a lot of people still call me Jess or Jesse now because of that. And that's fine. I haven't forced them to switch over to Adam. It's really not a big deal for me whether they call me Jesse or Adam. It's part of my name, so I'm pretty cool with anything. I think the biggest thing is to be sympathetic and empathetic where it comes to using your name and getting people to change that. When you just get mad at them, a lot of times they don't know what you're reacting to, and even if they do know directly what you're reacting to, they'll either do one of a couple things. They'll either do it on purpose to piss you off, they'll keep doing it because it's ingrained in them and you haven't like broken that cycle, or what was the other one that I was thinking of? I forget now. But anyways, I haven't had much luck with getting mad at people. When I was, let's say, 16, 17, my parents would call me by my full birth name, and I would fly off the handle. It was like seeing red. Anything, they could have paid me the like nicest compliment you'd ever heard in your life, and if they used that name, my rage was through the roof. It really, really upset me. And until I talked to them and told them that's what was setting me off, they really didn't know. Um, and that was what started a lot of the fights between the two of us. So communication is a big important thing. If you tell somebody that this is what's upsetting you and this is how to make it easier to allow the lines of communication to be open, a lot of times if people care about you, they're more than willing to do it. And not to say that they don't care about you if they don't do it. Sometimes it's a really hard adjustment. If you've been calling somebody one thing for most of their life, it's really hard to switch things over. And I do understand that. My parents both call me Adam. My mom calls me Jess in person. When she's sending mail to me, she'll send me mail to Adam, but or emails or anything like that. But when we're on the phone, it's always Jess. My dad has really, really worked really hard, and he's called me Adam for the last year or two since I got my name changed with him. He's been really supportive and really great. They both struggled with pronouns for a while. I had to sit them both down individually and talk to them about how important it was to me for them to really make the switch. And my dad's done amazing. My mom is about 50-50. Half the time she does it, half the time she doesn't. And the hardest thing for me, it doesn't annoy me anymore. Actually, what it does is it confuses the hell out of me. I don't know if she's referring to me or somebody else a lot of times when she switches the pronouns back and forth. And if she says she, then I don't automatically think that I'm being referred to, but sometimes I am. Um, so I would say that it's more confusing and more hard for me to understand what's happening when they do that. Um, Also, they sort of look like idiots now. That was the whole thing. They can choose to call you she and her and your female biological name or a female name for as long as they want. But if you're on testosterone and if you've had surgery or, if you're somewhere in that physical transition process, pretty much they look like the idiot. They look like the one who's got it all mixed up and they don't know what they're talking about. So, as long as you can distance yourself from the situation and realize how hard it is for them to change and be respectful of that. But at the same time, if somebody refuses to do that, I think sometimes you have to assess it. And, sometimes cutting the person out of your life is the only choice. Or making that a threat and say, if you do not make this change or this transition, I'm not going to be able to include you in my life anymore because you're not part of my life if you're not accepting me and understanding where I'm coming from. Um, the thing that I found that was really helpful for pronouns, especially, is having another person. My best friend did this for me for a really long time. Anytime we went someplace new where we were meeting new people or anything like that, I brought her with me. And I'd introduce myself as my name. And during the time that we were interacting, she would refer to me as he. And what people do generally, if they're in a situation where they're not sure, if they're like, oh, is that a boy, or oh, is that a girl, unless they're rude, under the influence, or a small child, they're probably not going to ask if you're a boy or a girl. Most people find that to be not socially appropriate to ask somebody. So what they're going to do is they're going to follow the precedent you set. So if you have a friend with you that uses female pronouns, that's what the people that are around you that have just met you are going to use because they're going to assume that's the appropriate one. If your friend, like my best friend, since we met when I was 16 and she was 15, um, she's always used male pronouns. Sorry, my beer's getting warm. um, so she's used male pronouns all the time, and that's made a lot of situations really easy for me because they just follow her lead. When she says he, they all go to he very easily. And I haven't actually had any problems with pronouns really within the last year or two, aside from my parents. And like I said, it's been close to almost 10 years, and they're still struggling. But I really care about my parents, and I don't feel like it's ultimatum time. They're working through it. They're struggling. I might have come out to them when I was 16 or 17, but for them to accept it, that's probably happened in the last couple of years. Definitely the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm still giving them, the get out of jail free card. But you need to figure out what works for you, and you know what? Don't hesitate to cut somebody out of your life if they're completely disrespecting you. Don't just do that and not say anything about it, but say something to them several times, and if they still refuse to respect you, you don't need that person in your life, to be perfectly honest. And I think that's pretty much all I have for pronouns and name change. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to post or send me a message on my private channel. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Peace.